Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick video today to talk about some of my mods and what's up. My neck is all healed up, the throat. It's easy enough heal. No more swelling, all peeled. Still using just a little bit of Aquaphor to keep it moist. But yeah, it was a really easy heal. So should be going back in tomorrow to get more done in and around the neck itself, maybe in the back or more on the clavicle area here. Just gonna kind of fill the black out some more here. But yeah, it's a really easy heal, so I'm not really dreading that one bit. I've got to finish this black arm here too. There's quite a bit to do still on it, so if we can't do the throat tomorrow, I'll be doing the black arm for sure. So there'll be black work one way or the other tomorrow. So I'm pretty excited about that. The other one is I had stretched my philtrum just the other day. When I made the video Friday, you could see it was backwards. I had stretched in, because whenever you stretch your philtrum, I find it quite a bit easier to stretch from the inside out. The inside of it is much too moist and you can't really get a good grip on the jewelry to be forcing something bigger through there. So I always stretch from the outside in. Anyway, I had the jewelry backwards because once I got the jewelry in, I certainly didn't want to take it out and fiddle with it and, try and turn it around. But it is a little more irritating to have the jewelry backwards. Your philtrum wants to push out, so you want the back on the inside ideally. So it was pretty swollen, so I didn't do that the first day. I waited, and by the second day the swelling had gone down quite a bit, and I got it turned around, and well, pretty much once it was turned around and in the right way, it was game over, just wait and heal now. So yeah, now the swelling is completely gone, and basically it's more or less healed. I mean, it's not really like to the point where I would say, oh, it's ready to stretch again, but the pain is gone, the swelling is gone, the redness is gone. It's basically accepted the stretch. I wouldn't push my luck and say leave it out or anything, because well, for one thing, all lip piercings heal particularly quickly. I mean, compared to other piercings, like even taking your philtrum out just to clean it, it can be a little hard to push the jewelry back through. The tissue seems to heal over at a rapid pace, so I wouldn't recommend, some people like to take their piercings out at night. I mean, you get to super big sizes and they don't grow over really anymore, like cartilage and stuff, but I find my lips tissue still regenerates quite a bit, pretty quick. It makes dental work kind of a nightmare for me. So I just try and take care of my teeth. But I'm kind of rambling. I haven't quite decided with what regularity I want to do these videos or what the schedule will be like. I was wondering for a while whether I wanted to do this kind of through my Instagram account, which has been off and running for a long time, or if I wanted to make it independent of that. I don't know if me doing these videos on my Instagram is such a good thing or not. It seems like there might be an appetite for it. Like, some people might like them or find them useful, and other people might find it irritating to listen to me babble for hours. So I'm kind of not sure what I want to do with that yet. I know I asked last week what people thought about my video content, and I did get quite a few people tell me that they liked it, but at the same time I could see I lost a few followers for it. So I thought for the meantime, while I'm not really sure what my format's going to be like or how often I can do this, I'm just going to run this independently. And I'm always getting different mods. I'm always stretching things. Like, I just stretched my tragus last week here, and I also downsized this one here last week. The goal for me with my traguses, since traguses are pretty thin, was simply to get them both to 4 gauges, or rather 2 gauges, and then with them at 2 gauge, decrease to a 4 gauge tunnel from there, because it's a little easier to get some nicer jewelry and at a smaller size than what you're at. So say if I wanted to stretch up to 2 gauge to get a 4 gauge silicone tunnel in like I have over here, and I wanted silicone tunnels in there because I quite frankly like listening to music too much to part with my traguses. The silicone is a little more flexy. It goes with the ear. It doesn't jet out so much when you put headbuds or earbuds in, which is what I use for earphones, is little headphone things. Anyway, yeah, I haven't decided the regularity of these posts or whatnot. I mean, like I said, I'm always doing something. It seems I've got at least one tattoo appointment a week, and I can't stop tinkering with my piercings to save my life. You know, for a while there, I had stopped stretching my piercings. I kind of figured that they were all big enough, and I didn't really need to do any more with them, kind of thing. But it seems like the more time I spend on Instagram and the more cool people I'm meeting that way, the more inspired I am again. You know, probably 5 years I was more or less stationary with what I had done and not really that interested in stretching piercings or getting any new piercings. But these days it seems like I have new sources of inspiration all the time. You know, I'm always chatting with neat people that I meet, or I'm liking pictures of people that I think look really cool or whatever. And it's not that I'm really trying to be more like them myself, as it is like I have had a drive for this stuff forever, but just in the city I'm living in, I don't really encounter these sorts of people. So when I started getting really into Instagram, it kind of opened my eyes up to the subculture, you know, that this subculture is not waning, it's growing, you know, it's changing, it's evolving, and I've just kind of been complacent in it. And I'm still not done myself, but it felt like I kind of was for a while. I don't know, you know, just didn't have a lot of inspiration for it. Of course, could also be a lot of the women that I had been seeing for a number of years didn't really care for this stuff so much, and my wife is incredibly supportive of it too, which it's not to say that I'm gonna let someone control what I do so much as it is when you have encouragement from people that you're around, it's a little easier to explore those sorts of options. But anyway, as I'm babbling on and on, I've been looking into find out, you know, what kind of stuff like this there is on YouTube, and it doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot. I mean, not for super modified people. Anyway, I mean, I watch all of Dragonheart's videos, but I discovered him originally on Instagram, and once I did, I kind of went and binged all of his stuff, because, you know, you don't see too many people with a bigger septum than I have, and so any kind of information I can get out of him is great. And if you haven't already watched Dragonheart's videos and you're somehow watching mine, go watch his for the love of God and subscribe, because the guy is pretty amazing. Like, he's got a 28 millimeter septum, looking to go back to 29. Anyway, so the throat's all healed up, and the philtrum piercing, the Medusa, is in great shape. And I don't know if I'll stretch that one again. God knows I've said I'm done. Who knows how many times I've said I'm done stretching a piercing and then continued to stretch it. But tomorrow should have more to talk about. I'm getting more of my throat / neck worked on. Hopefully I'll get these roses here taken care of, so it's not just this floating piece of black, which I do love the black, but I'd like it to be a little more cohesive and coherent as a whole. Or I'm a very symmetrical person, and I feel a little off right now. Before, you know, it was just roses in here and the whole way up. It all made sense. Right now it's a little disjointed. I mean, I can see the long-term picture, obviously, or else I wouldn't bother doing any of these things. You know, it's like, I always laugh when you hear the stories of a person will go into a tattoo shop and go, yeah, I want a real big sleeve tattoo done. And it's like, okay, bud, minimum 5-6 visits. What? You mean you can't do all that in one shot? God, no. Are you crazy? Anyway, if you happen to enjoy me rambling about tattoos and body mods and that kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe and share these videos. Like I said, I don't feel like I'm going to promote this through my Instagram because I want it to kind of be a different thing and maybe even like burning off a little bit of steam because Instagram's a bit of a grind for me now, and if you do the wrong thing, you kind of pay for it, and if you say the wrong thing, it could piss someone off, or this thing or that thing, or God knows when you're going to get shadow banned. So this might just be fun for me to do on the side and not really worry about that. Anyway, have a good night, everyone, and if you watched the whole way through, thanks a lot.